Hello everyone, I know it's a bit of an abnormal day Monday. However, I'll just turn this down. I was listening to the radio after my mum and I took my son Lewis to the soft play. Basically, on the radio they were talking about Brexit, and they were speaking to this MP who I can't remember the name of, but it basically said there is no way now for Theresa May to get a deal from the other MPs in the House. Because she won't get a deal, she can't carry on with Brexit, and because her deal isn't accepted by the EU, then once again Brexit's just gonna fall through the floor. And all in all, he explained that we need to give the vote back to the people. Basically, this is my opinion and my opinion only. Some people might share it, some people might think I'm just waffling. However, I believe now we live in a democracy where everyone's entitled to the option of. So everybody, well, not everybody, but most of us did vote to leave the EU. And a lot of us voted to stay in, but I think it was like a margin of about 2%, and out of the amount of people that live within the UK and the amount of people that voted, everyone's coming up with all these crazy stories saying, oh, well, they didn't vote because they thought we were gonna stay in. And the people that voted to leave, this is his words, Monayad, and I quote, the people that voted to leave were very much conspiracy theorists. Basically, if you don't know what I mean by that, the conspiracy theorists believe that you have the bourgeoisie, which are like the hierarchy, so like your MPs, your royal family, famous sort of controlling people, and then you have people like your Rothschild and Sons, and the list goes on. And then you have the proletariat, which are just the working class, civil servants, that sort of thing. So in the eyes of the upper class gentlemen, we are the lower class, which is quite demeaning. There's a bit of prejudice there that I don't think they understand completely. The way that, oh, thank you, the way that us normal people, I keep on putting it in quotation marks because I don't want to be seen as this prejudiced, horrible, stereotypical working class Yorkshire sort of individual that everybody thinks that I am on the side of these proletariat individuals. Marxism is the name of the study, and they are people of who go by the name of Marxists. So it is a big thing, and I can understand why people might say these things. However, in regards to Brexit, it is essentially the MP going off on a tangent and making stuff up because he went to higher education, he was taught about these few things, like the Marxist theorists. So that's sociology, which I'm sure a lot of parliamentary people have to do about. He's just pulled out random facts and tried to throw them in the mix of the mess that the UK is currently in, because nobody, frankly, in my eyes, have a clue what's happening. To be fair, I don't really know what's happening, but I think living in a democratical society, we have given our voice and said, yeah, we want Brexit, we want to leave, whether that was 100% a society that voted or 10%, it doesn't matter. Because of the votes and because of the way that society is shaping, then it's just the way a democratic society pans out and the way it works and functions. All in all, most of this stuff is because the Conservatives who are in power, bearing in mind the Prime Minister, Theresa May, was fighting on the Remain team 3 years ago, and she was trying to get people to vote for remaining within the EU. Obviously, that never happened, and now we have this big Remainer trying to sort out Brexit. However, by the way she is acting, it's very much like she can't get her own way because not everyone will agree with her. Then she's saying, well, we'll give it to everyone else to decide again. And frankly, most of the UK is fed up. Why can't we get WTO, so we'll go to the World Trade Organization, get a World Trade Agreement, whether it costs us a little bit, a lot, nothing at all, it doesn't really matter. We voted to leave the EU. They're plucking out numbers out of nowhere, so they're saying that we need to pay the EU 39 billion to leave. No, we don't. Have you ever been in a club and said, oh, well, I don't really want to be a member of your club no more? And then whoever owns it said, yeah, well, you need to pay us to leave. No, because it doesn't happen. It isn't the way things are. And frankly, after 3 years, we should have just said to them, the day we found out the majority of the vote, I know it was only by 2%, but because the majority had voted to Brexit, then we should Brexit. On the day that we found out, we should have said, all right, cheers, we're going now. Once we've left, then we could talk about possibilities of people trading with us, people not trading with us. That's entirely down to them. The UK has one of the largest farming economies around the world, with the cattle and the sheep and the chickens. Well, the chickens are more an American sort of domain. However, we do have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of vegetables. We have a lot of foods. If people want to start charging us to do those things, we grow it ourselves. Stop stirring the mess that is already raised, and let's just leave, say all right, cheers, thank you, goodbye, and go. Because frankly, I am getting really fed up of hearing people come up with this nonsense. We have to pay to leave, or if we leave, then we're not going to get any groceries delivered to our shops. I mean, who was it? Toyota? No, not Toyota. Honda. They left, didn't they? They threw in the towel. They was like, oh no, you live in the EU. Bearing in mind, it's a Japanese company. It's not even within the EU. EU, European Union. Japan is in Asia. So that's not an issue for them neither. This video was supposed to be short, but I've started going off on a tangent now. And I want to get as much factual stuff out there, because frankly it is just pathetic the way people are behaving now. Some people, bearing in mind it was on Channel 4, there was a documentary about some people who were stocking up their house. Yeah. It's like, you know, when everyone was saying during the millennium that the world's going to end, 2012, the world's going to end, we're going to have to buy all of these tinned vegetables and meats and everything else. Did it happen? No, it didn't happen. Are we going to have to pay to leave the EU? No, we're not. Never, ever has that ever been written down in the EU Code of Practice at all. It's just nonsense. Everyone's doubts and fears are understandable, but it's getting way beyond the point of common sense now. We used to own half of the globe. England itself, it used to be in control of half the globe. Excuse me. But that's going all the way to like India. We owned, then we had the partition, which was obviously to do with the religions. Most of Africa we owned. America we used to own until the Civil War, and England got their asses handed to them, excuse my French. Australia we still have some ruling factor over, so in that sense we also have New Zealand. So most of the world we're still in control of. All of these people, oh no, we're leaving the EU. So, we rule most of the world. We control the decisions made in many countries. The British Armed Forces are scattered all over the world. We are a superpower, really, aren't we? There's 3 countries, there's France, America, and England. And then after that it's like Germany, Poland, Switzerland, that sort of way down. But England's at the top of that. Not England, sorry, that's a minority. The United Kingdom is at the top of those superpowers, and people need to stop quivering in the boots, because we're leaving the European Union. We still have the UN, we still have NATO, we still have the World Trade Organization. We have so much stuff, and everybody is just going crazy. It's like headless chicken, and the butchers just carries on running around not knowing where it's going. That was quite a gruesome analogy. It's like a blindfolded bull on a, in Spain when they run and the bulls chase them. But yeah, that's my rant. I've had it up to here now with people coming up with nonsense and ridiculous accusations on the whole situation. Yeah, technically we're still within the EU because Theresa May can't figure out how to do it. Nobody in the Houses of Parliament actually like her. The civil service of the United Kingdom doesn't like her. And frankly, I think it's just because she's the only person after Brexit happened and David Cameron didn't get what he wanted that stepped in and said, yeah, I'll sort it. So for that, I do have a tiny bit of respect for her. I can't stand her being ex-forces, being related to military and police and everything else. She is the lowest of the low, in my opinion. However, she is in control of our government. She is in control of the United Kingdom as it stands. She is, give her credit, working very hard to try and provide the British economy a positive solution, and I don't think she's getting enough credit for that. However, my main reasoning for this video is people need to stop, slow down, take a step back, look, listen, do all of that sort of stuff, take in your facts, and then once you know your information, once you've done your homework, once you can have a conversation with somebody, then you could say, well, this is my opinion, like I have. I've read up the facts and the figures and the society's numbers of agreement and dismissal. I am quite endowed in that information. So please, everybody who isn't 100% about what's happening, stop throwing out accusations, because it isn't going to get you nowhere. It's only going to wind up people that know what they're talking about. I mean, obviously, I don't know everything, but I know, I believe, a lot more than a lot of people do. It's like this whole social media has just got ransacked with nonsense. Oh, well, the British economy did this for all these countries, so what? We're leaving the EU, we're a democracy, we have decided that. That was the final vote. Theresa May and all of the government are throwing the towel in because nobody can agree on anything. So they're just saying, well, if we ask the, sorry, bear with me. If we ask the society, then maybe we've wound them up so much now that they'll change their mind and we'll just stay in the EU, because nobody, well, half of the parliament wanted to stay and the other half wanted to go. So they're never gonna be able to agree on anything, because one half wants one thing and the other half wants the opposite. So their way of getting around the fact that the people we are trusting our economy and well-being and everything else in can't come up with a decision. So on that note, read up your stuff, get your facts in your head, do your own work, look at what's being said, who it's being said by. I mean, it's all well and good Barry down the street thinks that England's gonna sink because we're leaving the EU. It don't hurt. If you looked at an archaeological sort of view, we used to be connected to France. The English Channel's so shallow that they have actually proven it by testing the rock face on the cliffs of Dover and the rocks on like Normandy, and they fit it in like a jigsaw puzzle. And we were at one point prior to the Ice Age and everything else one big continent, or we just didn't really have a lot of water at all. But that's what happens with an Ice Age, it melts, it creates water. But yeah, run is now officially over, and need to sort out my son, maybe do the swashbuckler dance with him, you know, the eye patch, pirate's hat, swashbuckle cheer, all of that. But yeah, thank you for watching and putting up with my rant, and I know it's a Monday, so I appreciate the people that haven't watched will obviously have a pretty reasonable reason for not doing so. They might watch it later. This video has been a lot longer than expected, but I will be doing Thursdays. Apparently, according to one of the girls from my MS group, my speech has got better. I don't know. I mean, I'll leave that up to you. I might just be sounding a bit silly again. But take care, everyone. It was nice to be able to get that off my chest. And tomorrow my Wi-Fi is getting set up, so I'll be more able to do videos like on Thursdays. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Take care, and I shall see you on Thursday. Bye bye.